I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya, and today we're going to be tackling William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, or What You Will. I am super excited, and I'm so ready to jump into this play, because if you didn't know, this inspired the movie that was made back in 2006, I believe. It stars Channing Tatum and Amanda Bynes. She's the man. Basically, we're following this young lady who pretends to dress up as who pretends to be her brother. She dresses up as her twin brother, and she attends this boarding school called Illyria Prep to basically just go play on the boys' soccer team. And they were inspired by Shakespeare's play Twelfth Night. So I'm very excited to read this. We have a ton of characters. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of romance, but mainly comedy. That movie is a gem. If you haven't seen it, stop right there and go find it. Just go find it, pay for it, rent it out, go buy the DVD, whatever you have to, go see that movie, because it's like a classic teen movie. It's so cute, it's so funny, it's iconic in my opinion, and it's just so joyful, heartwarming, and it's funny in my opinion. I don't know. Anyway, so I have my huge collection, the complete series, or works rather, of William Shakespeare here in my hand. I got this years ago off of eBay, and I cannot tell you how much I love Shakespeare's work. Recently, since I think I'm covering the microphone. Recently, since I've, started my booktube channel or whatnot, I've been trying to slowly chip away at Shakespeare's list to see if I can just one day say that I've read all of William Shakespeare. I've done, of course, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar. I love that for a little political drama. And now Twelfth Night is going to be completely new and fresh for me. So very excited. I'm going to read off to you some of the characters that are in the book, and maybe put this down since I can't hold it forever. Okay, let's see if we can put it down. You are currently in my little library bookshelf nook, and on top of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. So I have the book here. Let's go ahead and get you familiarized with the different characters that are going to be in our story. So we have Duke Orsino, Duke of Illyria. It's kind of hilarious because Illyria was the name of the actual boarding school. It is this gorgeous, vast campus that is just the stuff of dreams. I loved the campus so much. I wanted to visit. I wanted to go to school there. It's the same thing as like Pacific Coast Academy. I think that's what it's called in Zoe 101. But yes, I loved that school. I love the colors. I love how manicured and maintained it was. Huge academic program, huge sports program. It just looked like the perfect thing. Like these are that's the way they got you. That's the way they get you as a little kid, and thinking that you should be going off to college and going to private boarding schools. But anyway, that school was amazing. So we have Duke Orsino, or it's just Orsino here, Duke of Illyria. Sebastian, who's a young gentleman, that's Viola's brother. Antonio, a sea captain, friend to Sebastian. A sea captain, friend to Viola. They just kind of put it like that. Valentine and Curio, that sounds like Mercutio, gentlemen attending on the Duke. Sir Toby Belch, uncle to Olivia. Sir Andrew Aguicheek, Malvolio, steward to Olivia. Malvolio is such a funny character in She's the Man. He is just basically a stalker. He's a creep. He's obsessed with Olivia, the character, and it's so funny. I actually wanted to name my dog Malvolio, my future dog. There's Fabian and the clown. Those are servants to Olivia. There's Olivia, of course. Basically, Olivia likes Sebastian, who really is Viola, and Viola likes Duke, who likes Olivia. I hope you followed that. I think the trailer even set it up like Sebastian, who's really his sister Viola, likes Duke, who likes Olivia, who really is, like they just make your head spin. And Viola, of course, sister to Sebastian, Maria, Olivia's woman. Okay, and then there's different lords, priests, sailors, officers, musicians, and attendants. And the scene is a city in Illyria and the sea coast near it. Oh, perfect, because I'm not too far from the sea. So, I got a little marine thing going on here. But yeah, I want to get right into reading, and I will update you very soon. I forgot to mention that I'm trying to see if I can do this in just one day. This is a pretty quick, short play. The audiobook is about 2.5 hours, so depending on my reading speed, I should be done with this at least within 2 hours, at least an hour and 45 minutes, you know? Because again, this is a play, you're just reading some lines. Of course, this is, I would like to say Old English. This is something to be decoded and deciphered, but it shouldn't be too difficult. One more thing, just to set the scene for you guys about my environment. Of course, I'm in my bedroom, but it is thundering out there and it is a gloomy, rainy day. Classic summer weather of South Florida. Like, I literally just heard some thunder, but you probably didn't catch that. I'll show you guys the wonderful, wonderful scene out there. But yeah, I love this cozy environment to read a classic of Shakespeare. We are kind of doing this video as a heading back to school. There's always Shakespeare to be read in, you know, certain grades. I don't know if middle school they've ever let you guys, you know, read Shakespeare, but for sure, in high school we had to dissect Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that environment of going back to school, the academics, and that kind of feeling. So it is a gloomy, rainy day, and we're gonna just try to knock this thing out of the park, you know? Very, very excited. I need to get into it and just stop talking. Act 1, Scene 1, the Duke's Palace. Okay, so far we've been introduced to Duke of Illyria, the Orsino man. He is love-stricken for Olivia, and you know, it's just set up this way. Olivia actually recently lost her brother, and she's kind of resigned herself to just live her life alone, somewhat like a nun. And this guy is like, you know, if she can love her brother that much, then she would do this. Can you imagine the passion between, you know, a king like myself, in a sense, right? I think that's what he basically, yeah, her sweet perfections with one self king. Like, okay, dude, like, don't you get it? I want to be alone, but he is pushing it. Now, it's really confusing sometimes. I always get those two names confused because they have nearly the exact same lettering, Viola and Olivia. I don't know if they did that, Shakespeare did that on purpose, but yeah, Viola is caught in a shipwreck and she's here with this captain. The captain kind of reassures her that, hey, I saw Sebastian, your brother, hanging on for dear life, which kind of gives her a little bit of hope, you know, like, and it kind of reassures her and comforts her in some regard. And they wash up on a shore of the country Illyria, where Duke Orsino lives, and Viola's like, oh, what country is this? And the captain's like, oh, this is Illyria. And it seems that Viola's trying to find work or trying to, I don't know, fit in some ways. It's a little bit rushed. I feel like it's like the reasoning as to why she would want to immediately disguise herself to work for the Duke is, I wish it was expounded, but Viola says, hey, disguise me as a eunuch so that way I can work for this Duke of Illyria. Like, okay, it's fine. It's fine so far, but you know, I kind of wish certain things didn't move so fast. And now we're already on another scene, so.
Go with the flow. Want to drink
of the 12th Night vlog. I have to say the play is not for everyone. I am enjoying it to some extent. I wish that there were more Cesario, aka Viola, and Duke Orsino scenes, because William Shakespeare keeps interjecting with a bunch of these kind of like lowly, vulgar, and almost overtly sexual characters in the play. They're like drunkards. They're just loud and just, I don't know. They're not as poetic and gentle, I would even say, but as romantic as Duke Orsino. So yeah, that's the one thing that's like, but I am enjoying it so far. It is nice to step away from contemporary work and to hear a different language. I think this whole thing is like super interesting because this was like done in the 16th century, I believe, and to think of a concept of like switching off that gendered role, you know, like playing around with that is just a little bit really like, I don't even want to say avant-garde, but it is a little bit like ahead of its time, that kind of funny role play. So Olivia, she has encountered Cesario, and already you can tell that because Cesario has a more feminine side, Olivia likes Cesario, who really is Viola. So it's also peculiar and funny and enjoyable as far as the story, but it does not match up to the level of like Romeo and Juliet, or even Macbeth or Julius Caesar, which is a lot of fun. So I am enjoying it. It's not a low rating quite yet, but I am like balancing and wavering on a 3 stars, 3.5. We shall see what happens next, but it is an enjoyable story and I can't wait for all of it to be revealed. As I said, it is not for everyone. So I'm on the bed just chilling and reading, of course, wearing my Mets shirt. Yeah, so I just wanted to give advice because obviously Shakespeare is not somebody that people can really understand all too well, which is why a lot of people avoid him. But I know that the language is not exactly very not coherent, but it's not really clear, you know? So I suggest if you are going to be reading Shakespeare to just get you a little notebook or whatever, a scrap piece of paper, and write certain things down. If you have questions and you can't understand something, just write it down and see if you could break down the sentence. And if not, you can always do a little bit of research on it, you know what I mean? He doesn't speak in the language that you and I would speak, so being able to enjoy the story is to understand the story. That I think that makes sense. Being able to understand the story is to enjoy the story, because if you can't understand it, then how are you supposed to enjoy it or really take anything from it, you know? But yeah, I just suggest taking a note if you feel like it. I know it can feel a little bit like tiresome and maybe has an air of being back in school, but I don't know. It's like, you know, there are a lot more arduous and tedious things that one could do besides taking a few notes of William Shakespeare. I personally enjoy it, but you know, to each, do the method that you think works best for you. I just wanted to pop on here really quickly and give you guys an update. I can see why this is not one of his more famous plays. I don't think that I'll be reading this ever again in the future. It's not gonna get a reread from me. My sister was saying that there are some plays that are more famous than others. You can imagine maybe Romeo and Juliet might be the most famous one, and I feel like the most iconic adaptation has to be West Side Story, but Hamlet and all of these other ones are a little bit higher, like a little bit like top echelon, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it makes me question. I'm like, is this the same guy who wrote those amazing lyrical plays and iconic plays? Is this the same person? I was like, I don't know if he really is, because I don't know, I just don't like his comedies, I suppose. Give me some more of his tragedies like Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet. You know what I mean? I was saying this earlier that there's an element in this particular play that I am not jiving with. I don't particularly like it. It's the comedy element, and I understand that this is a romantic comedy from Shakespeare, but I don't like it. It's just ridiculous. It's a lot of like tomfoolery, a lot of gesturing and clownery going on. What is that word that Key and Peele use? It's churlish. What did he say? What else was that other word? Insubordinate and churlish. But yeah, it's just so, it's not funny to me. It's just not funny. It's not hitting. It's not slapping. And it's like the pranking and gotcha. It's too much laughter in not the right way. My sister's off camera and she was like, oh, what you really are feeling about this play is that it's a little too hokey for you. I was like, hey, that's a perfect way to describe it. It is a little bit too much hoke, right? A little bit too hokey. I just would have loved to see more love in this particular play. I just really pay closer attention to the scenes with Duke of Illyria, Orsino, with Viola dressed up as Cesario, and even the scenes where Olivia is with Cesario. Those are more entertaining and more fun for me. So I would have loved to see way more of that in this particular play. I actually just passed the scene where Olivia, so there's this scene with Olivia and Viola dressed up as Cesario, and she's saying, you know, she's professing her love, and Cesario, aka Viola, is like, this isn't gonna happen. I can never love you. No!
Isn't he cute? Duke? Yeah. No, Sebastian, he's so cool. But he said I'm not his type. But that's impossible. You're everyone's type. Not his. So, now it's none of my business, but you went out with that Duke Orsino guy, right? Yeah, once. Every happiness to you both. No, actually, I don't really like Duke. I have this huge thing for his roommate, Sebastian, and I was just trying to make Sebastian jealous. Oh boy. Yeah, I know it's really wrong to use a person this way, and I feel really terrible about it, but I really, really like Sebastian. He's so handsome, and he's not the goonish kind of handsome you see in a lot of guys. He's a delicate, like even refined handsome, you know? Oh, and when he smiles, I just can't stop looking at him. He's just so wonderful.
You know what I mean? So yeah, even that scene was particularly fun. Yeah, I'm nearly done. I have about like 3 to 4 pages. I'm excited for the big reveal. I'm excited for this to be finished because I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would. I believe I'm in Act 3, Scene 4, so we're nearly at the big reveal. I'm hoping. So it is a little bit later and I finally finished with the play. I have to say that it wrapped up very quickly and it's a little mind-boggling, quite baffling how fast everything kind of closes up. It's crazy. Like one thing leads to another, like one character pops in, another pops out. Things are like just moving relatively quickly. As I was reading it, I wanted to rate it 3 stars. There's nothing inherently bad about it, but the more that I read it and the more that I found out about these characters and how the storyline was going, it became a bit downgraded. I feel horrible to give even Shakespeare this rating, but for sure this play is a 2.5 stars for me. Yeah, it might end up in, it's not the worst thing, but it's not for me, I guess, and it's probably not gonna be for a lot of people. Yeah, like I said, it's like this thing wrapped up so darn quickly. 1 minute, the Duke of Illyria is totally wrapped up in Olivia. He is in love with her, and then 2 seconds, of course, like it feels like you can tell throughout the play that he's been inching closer and closer to Cesario, Viola's character, but still the way that it just shifted towards the end, it's like whiplash a little bit, but it is quite like the movie in regards to who ends up with who. Orsino ends up with Viola and Sebastian and Olivia do end up together. I was kind of nervous about that because Sebastian and Olivia barely interacted in the play, so but yeah, 2.5 is definitely my rating. We're gonna try to see if we could find something next from Shakespeare. I was thinking of Much Ado About Nothing. I think that's the one. Yeah, very curious about that one. We'll be talking about it probably in in our September TBR video. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you in my very next one. Bye.
I see